Welcome, everybody. Let me just make sure you're welcome to Meditech Musings. My name is Leanne Mallet. I'm the Training College Manager, and I'm just going to mute all participants except for you, Mitzi.
You can mute me if you like.
No. I need you to be talking, Mitzi. So I look after the Training College, and I am the administrator of the Facebook group. So also joining me today, we have Mitzi, who is our Senior Case Manager with Meditech Staffing. If you'd like to introduce yourself, Mitzi.
Hi, team. My name's Mitzi. I've been with Meditech since February 2021. Really enjoying my role and loving the team that we have at the moment, and growing every day. So welcome aboard.
Thank you, Mitzi. Okay, so this is a 30-minute session where we talk about problems that I have posted up onto the Facebook group. I'm just sharing the Facebook group with you all. If you haven't joined the Facebook group yet and you are on Facebook, I highly recommend that you do. I'll put the link in our chat box. Now, if you haven't used MS Teams before, to open the chat box, you just click on the little icon at the top of the screen that says chat, and you can write any questions you have in the chat box whilst we're talking, or if you have something to say, you can just unmute yourself and come in and ask questions at any time.
And it's a closed group. It's not a public group.
Yes, if you're a bit wary about Facebook, it is a private closed group, and it is only employees of Meditech Staffing that are part of the group, and it is all about providing you with educational opportunities in a easily digestible manner. So what we've done
also, and sorry Leanne to interrupt, but also to add, just a way to connect as well with each other, since a lot of the times we don't meet other support workers and we are quite often out there on our own.
Yes, exactly. It's a very isolating job. You're all working out there individually, and this is a fortnightly way to connect with other support workers and with your case management team, who are very willing to support you. And as the training manager, we're very eager to build your skills. Okay, so the way we do that is we post some common workplace scenarios and we discuss them each fortnight. And I've posted these scenarios up onto the Facebook group, and I'm just going to go through them. Mitzi, can you see that screen okay?
Yep, I can.
Fantastic.
I will put my camera on in a second.
Yep, no problem. So we're going to start with our first scenario, and it's called meal preparation. So let's presume you are a new support worker and you've been allocated a German client who cannot cook. And he's said that he can reheat food in the microwave, but that is a bit questionable. So you are tasked with shopping and cooking 4 days worth of meals for him. His family have requested healthy European meals and have provided recommended recipes. Now, you're a great cook at home. The family loves what you cook at home, but you absolutely have no experience with European or German meals or recipes. It's just not your specialty. And because life is busy, work is busy, you're getting closer to the job and you've just run out of time to think about different types of recipes that you could be thinking about and preparing to cook for this German client. So you've run out of time and you just think, you know what, I'm just going to cook the food that I know I do it well. Doesn't matter as long as he eats, right? Okay. But what could possibly be wrong with that? So we've got quite a few attendees today. So welcome, everybody. I've just given and explained the first scenario, and I'm just going to make sure you can all come in. I have to enable your microphones. So if you think you've got an answer here, you can unmute yourself and let me know what you think could possibly go wrong in this scenario. Mitzi, is this something that's likely to happen?
Well, look, we have a diverse mixture of clients from all different cultural backgrounds, Chinese, Vietnamese, Italian, Spanish, Eastern European, Indian. So, and we do have meal preparation services for these clients. So,
So what, does anyone have anything to say? If you have got anything to say, just unmute yourselves, feel free. I'm just allowing your cameras and your microphones. But Mitzi, can you think of what could possibly go wrong if the support worker just went out and started cooking perhaps you know, curries and Indian curries or Asian stir fries or some sort of
Well,
different meal?
look, sometimes, you know, with the European cultures, um, they're very, very against eating anything but their own cultural meals. Like they're not, for example, Italians are very adamant about trying things that are not Italian, you know.
Mm,
So I think before you start cooking anything, ideally, if the client has capacity to tell you, you ask them because German food can be quite simple, you know, um, and very few ingredients. So you can just ask them what would they prefer for you to cook. And if lost, I mean, we've got access to social media, YouTube. You can Google, you know,
mm,
easy German recipe on YouTube, you
true.
know, and then you can add the ingredients that you have at hand, and it'll give you some ideas. So it's a no-brainer. It's very simple. It's just
Yeah.
about thinking outside the box.
Yeah, I think it's never presume, okay? It's not a good idea to presume that because your family likes a meal, that the client's going to like the meal. They could have stomach issues. I know that curries upset my stomachs, but it might be okay for you and your family. It could be a situation where it would just, you know, add some potential digestion issues for the client as well, Mitzi. Besides the fact,
Correct.
yeah, so it could just add to some, you know, issues for the client, which obviously they don't need. And besides that, it probably would not make the family very happy. They had supplied the recipes. They had, you know, taken the time to do that. And it really is an easy solution. If you don't know, you just need to ask. You need to contact either the case manager. Every fortnight, we've got the case managers here online saying, call us. If you don't know, ask us. We can help you. So just don't hesitate to say, I don't know. I don't know how to cook German food. I need some help. Okay. And help will
Exactly.
be provided. So I think it's very important that you reach, if you don't know, you ask. Don't presume that, you know, just going off and doing something that you think is the right solution is going to be successful. It could end up in a disgruntled or dissatisfied client. It could end up with a sick client. Okay. And we don't want that. And we don't want any complaints when you really thought you were doing the right thing. Now, you might think about this and think, well, I would never do that. Well, you'd be surprised. These things happen all the time, okay? Because you guys are out there working on your own, and perhaps you don't realise that there is a lot of support here in the office, and we're ready and willing to assist you to, you know, get through these situations. So does anyone have anything to say? I'm just letting everybody's mic and camera work. It looks like that's all good. So come in at any time. And you can see here some people have posted in the support group. Chihiro, I think, is here. Welcome, Chihiro. And thank you so much for posting a suggested reply. Chihiro is saying she would have talked to the client's family about the specialty that she was unfamiliar with and to take more time, you know, than what the shift had provided, maybe prepare for that shift. Wouldn't have brought in 4 days worth of meals if it, you know, wasn't suiting the client, and perhaps, you know, discussed with the family and or the client or the case manager, how can I change the recipe up a little bit to suit my skills in the kitchen and the client's needs? And I think that's showing a great initiative. So well done there, Chihiro.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to add there, Mitzi?
Look, if, like I said earlier, if and has capacity, okay. Say for example, you know, it's a woman, a lady client, you know, and she's unable to cook herself anymore because of arthritis or for whatever reason, and she used to love to cook. You know, it's person-centered care. So involve them, ask them, how did you used to do this? Can you guide me step by step? You know, what do you suggest I do for this? What would you like us to cook next week?
Mm. And also, the client might say, you know what, my family mean well, but actually, I just prefer toasted sandwiches. I want, you know, a
Ex-
cup of soup and a toasted sandwich would suit me. So, you know, the family might be providing a solution that's more complicated than is necessary. So, communication is key as well there. So, that
Yeah, and
was,
report that back. Report that
mm,
back. If a client's telling you, look, I don't want a hot meal for lunch, I prefer a ham and cheese toasted sandwich, you need to report that. You need to write it on your progress note. Mr. X refused a hot meal as indicated for me to cook. He asked me to prepare him a toasted ham and cheese sandwich.
Exactly. Well done. Communication is key. So we've got 10 attendees. Welcome, everybody. We'll move on to the next scenario, running late. And again, these are all common scenarios that have happened. These are real workplace situations that have happened. You may find yourself in that situation. So what do? This one's about running late. This is quite common, actually. So perhaps you've got 3 clients scheduled for the afternoon, but you're having a bad morning. One of your kids is sick and you need to take them to the doctor. You're hoping you'll have time to take your child to the doctor, get home in time for your partner to look after them so that you can get to your first client at 1 o'clock. But life in our 21st century is never dull, is it? That's for sure, because the doctor's running late, as they always are, resulting in you not getting home until 10 to 1, not leaving enough time for you to get to the first client. So what are you going to do? So you've got 3 clients that afternoon. Client 1, you know, Ben, he's pretty relaxed. He won't care if you're 10 minutes late. That's fine. But Mary, client number 2, has severe anxiety. And if you're going to be late for Mary, it's going to really impact her. Okay, she's going to stress and worry that you're not there on time. And Peter, you know that you've got to be taking Peter to a doctor's appointment as well. So obviously he can't be late. So what are you going to do? Are you just going to have, well, that's the way it is. I'm running late. I'm driving. I can't ring anyone. How do you handle these competing priorities? And Mitzi, you might want to talk to this. Is this a common situation?
Yes. Now, look, what you got to bear in mind, okay, that sometimes the rostering coordinator, okay, could be new, is not familiar with the areas, is not familiar with the traffic situation. There may be building, roadworks, whatever. So say, for example, they give you 20 minutes, but you know that actual trip is going to take you, 35 minutes. You need to report this, okay? Because if you arrive late to that shift without advising the office that you're running late, and that client that you're supposed to see falls or anything happens when you're meant to be there, you are liable.
Yeah, right.
You are responsible.
You are responsible. Yeah. So what is the answer? Communication. You have to stop and ring the office. Yeah, you have to ring and make contact as quick as you can and say, look, I'm so sorry. This is where I'm at. I thought I'd be able to make it. We will understand, as Katie, who is our manager up there at Gosford, definitely make contact with the office. Advise them of your situation. A friendly coordinator will be able to assist you, and we will understand that life happens. Life is very busy these days. Family is very important. Obviously, your family comes first. You have to look after your child, but so are our clients, and we can deal with this situation through communication. And I think another support worker, Chilove, I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly, has suggested that as soon as you notice your child is sick and you know you have to go to the doctor, ring in the morning. Don't leave it to the last minute and say, there's a potential I'm going to be running late for this shift, okay? Could another employee take the first client potentially so that you can then take the second and third? Okay, so that sounds like a good idea. Anyone want to come in there? Katie, I notice you're online. Do you have anything else to add there? Thanks for posting in the chat on
Happy to be here. I made some time today. I love these musings. I just want to reiterate that I know maybe some support workers, case managers are out there, have worked for other providers and they feel like you can't ring the office and say, I have an appointment or I'm going to be running late. But I really want to reiterate with Meditech, as you said, Leanne, life happens. We have appointments. Family's important. Always just call the office and let us know, and we will assist you and our clients.
And that's not going to be held against you, okay? So don't worry that, it means I'm not doing my job well. In fact, it means you are doing your job extremely well because you're putting the client's needs, as your priority. Thanks for that, Katie. I really appreciate that. I just wanted to go back to the meals one. I wanted to say perhaps the client asked for ham toasted sandwich, but you can't eat ham due to your religious beliefs. You need to let us know that as well, yeah? Because there might be, you can't make ham and cheese toasted sandwich. I know that's an afterthought, but I just thought I'd mention that. Communication is key. And your beliefs are as important as the client's needs as well. Okay, just let us know. We're racing through them today. The third one. Now we're in an aged care home, residential care worker. And this one is, it's third one. We've got 4. So this is 3 of 4 scenarios. You're in the aged care facility. You work with different types of people. One of them is Peter, who's 70 years old, and he can be described as isolated. He likes being alone. He's an introvert. He doesn't like participating in any activities that you're trying to do with the group. But it's your job to ensure that all the residents follow the activities as per their individualised care plans. You're a good support worker. You've read all your care plans. Yeah. You have tried different strategies to encourage Peter. However, he remains hesitant and even aggressive towards you. Your interactions with Peter and other residents with similar attitudes have caused you to feel like you are losing control. You're starting to feel a bit down on yourself. You're irritable, you're nervous, I'm not good at this job, I can't get Peter to interact, and it's starting to impact the quality of care that you provide to the clients. Self-care is so important in this job. You are constantly giving and caring and showing empathy and supporting other people. Who's supporting you? Okay, what are you doing to look after yourself? So what self-care strategies can you use to manage your stress? It's really important that you look after yourself. We have talked about this before in the musings. Perhaps some people have some different ideas of how do you cope with stress and work-related stress.
Some very simple strategies I can probably share is, take breaks when you need the break, not when the job is done. Take the break when you need. So if you're doing, say for example, you're doing an activity and something's happened that, it's overwhelmed you, stressed you out, say for example, you're doing painting with the residents. And you may be in a outside, like in a room that's got an exit to an outside area. Just tell the residents, I'll let you continue for 5 minutes. I'm just going to go and walk outside in the sun, take a few deep breaths, exhale slowly, get that sun to warm you, go back in.
Yeah. And we've talked about that before. It's 4 breaths, 4 inhaling through the nose, exhaling through the mouth, and really focusing on and slowing down your breath. 4 times they say that, 4 breaths. That will make a considerable change to your system, to your nervous system. 4 breaths, getting the sunshine. Okay. Just moving yourself away from the situation, recognizing the stress that is happening in your body. Okay. There's lots of free apps out there about meditation, 4-minute meditations that you can do, simple meditations where focusing on your breath. Go ahead, Katie. Thank you. Focusing on your breath. So another one we talked about previously, if you remember, Mitzi, was focusing on your 5 senses. So going outside in the sunshine, perhaps you struggle to have that deep breath, that breathing relaxation method. Another way that can help, and I've heard about this with people with anxiety, is to focus on your 5 senses. So you just stop whilst you're outside getting that breath. And the 5 senses, what are they?
Yeah. So focus on something that you can feel, something that you can smell, a bird that you can hear, I don't know, the texture of
excuse me, guys.
The tree trunk or something like just focus on that, like if you can smell jasmine, focus on the smell of the jasmine.
So it's what you can see, what you can hear, what you can feel, what you can sense, what you can taste. Okay, perhaps you can still taste your lunch, or in fact, perhaps you realise, I'm actually a bit thirsty. But this is helping you centre on yourself. Okay, so the 5 senses or 4 breaths would be my recommendation.
Another easy one, like working in a facility, if you're doing an activity with a group, if you were sitting down for the whole time, stand up.
Yes, stretch.
And walk.
Yes.
Walk one way, do a lap one way, then turn and do the lap the other way.
Yep, exactly. Focus on you. You're important too. Okay. And also, you know, this job is difficult. The more I'm realizing every fortnight, the amazing skills you guys have to have, the diverse skills you have to have from, as we've talked about, kindness, empathy, communication skills, resilience, problem solving, communication.
And a lot of the times you can't take this personally. Okay, you may be doing your job excellent. You've got all the right skill, all the right attributes.
You just froze there a bit, Mitzi. That's right. She'll come back in a moment. Yes, you know, believe in yourself, believe in the experience that you have already obtained, and back yourself with what you know and give yourself some credit, okay? Because this can be a challenging job, and reach out to us if you need support. Okay, Mitzi, you've just frozen a bit there, so I don't know if you could still hear me there. You may need to come back in just a moment. Okay, so any comments from anyone? Would anyone like to come in? You don't have to, no obligation, but if you have anything to say, feel free to unmute yourself. And whilst we're waiting for Mitzi, I'll just wait for Mitzi to come back. I just want to show everyone, and I'm wondering, does everybody know that they have access to free training? I'll just wait for Mitzi to come back. And I just want to bring this up so that you can see it, because we may have some new people in here that aren't aware of this. But you have access to over, well, there's actually nearly 50 now, 50 e-learning modules. They're all free for you guys. And this booklet, I can send it out to everyone again, or I'll put it up in the Facebook group. These are all the courses we've got. If you want to build your skills in communication, we've got one on communicate or work in health and community services. If you have a client in palliative care and you want to build skills in palliative care, there's a course on that. There's courses on all sorts of different topics here related to support worker skills, working with diverse people, providing individualised support. So once you get this booklet online via email, you just click on the course you want, and then you click to enrol. And when you enrol here, you just fill in your details and click enrol now. You may need to log in. If you've already studied with the college, you may need to log in first. If you've already studied with the college, you just put in your email address, whatever it may be. Password is always Meditech 1234 exclamation mark. Okay, you just put in your email address here. Meditech 1234, make sure you've got a capital M and the exclamation mark at the end. That will log you in, and you can book into any of these courses that are in this booklet. Oops, they're gone. There, I'll go back to it. Okay, so lots of different courses there for you that are free, and you can just do them in your own time. They're high quality e-learning courses, and they're all free and very easy to complete. Okay, so I don't know if Mitzi's come back, but we'll go to the last scenario. This one's challenging, actually. I'm not sure I have the answers, so this is going, I hope somebody else has the answers out there. Mitzi, are you back? If you're there, Mitzi. She might have to come back. Okay, so scenario, last one. Okay, our time's nearly up. Anne is 73 years old and has lower limb disability. She has also been diagnosed with depression. She wants to socialise with peers in her residential care facility, but she's a bit of an overthinker. Okay, she worries too much that other people will react negatively when she communicates with them. And because of her extreme anxiety, she's having difficulties initiating conversations with her peers in the residential care facility, including Rachel, who has a visual disability, and Carla, who has a hearing disability. So what are two ways that Anne, she's anxious, what are two ways she can interact with somebody who has a visual disability? And maybe you have clients out there. I'm just looking at Doha. She's on hold there. I'll just see where Mitzi is whilst you're thinking about that one. And I might just ring Mitzi. So visual, if somebody can't see so well, I think we need to perhaps speak a little bit, make sure that we moderate the tone of our voice, make sure we're not, no, that's hearing, isn't it? So visual. So they can't see, hearing is very important. So make sure the tone of your voice is clear, that you are articulating and speaking clearly. Make sure that you're close to her when you're talking to her. And perhaps, what else? Do you have any other suggestions? Visual support. Let me just ring Mitzi.
My phone died.
That's all right, Mitzi. All right, thank you, my dear. I'm just needing a bit of help because I'm not from this background. How do you support people who have visual disabilities?
I have no idea.
Yeah, she doesn't know. That's funny.
I'm being a little bit technologically challenged today. Apologies, guys.
That's okay. Well, I'm just thinking if somebody has a visual disability, then perhaps you need to speak very clearly.
Okay. Can you all hear me okay?
No, well, I'll be able to. Oh, thank you, Guzzy. Always ask if she can hear you clearly. Thank you. See, our support workers know what to do. Can you hear me? Okay. Do I need to speak louder? Do I need to be closer? Yeah, so consider the recipient. You know what I would do? I would Google it. How to communicate with someone who has a visual disability. Google's fantastic, don't you think? Clear word pictures when describing things to an individual with vision loss. You include details such as colour, texture. So if you're describing something, you need to be very descriptive, don't you? So perhaps if you're talking about a TV show that is on or a presentation that is on and you're having to describe it, you need to be very clear, okay? Make sure you're talking to them. Vision Australia looks like they've got some good tips here. Always be empathetic. Speak in layman's terms. And remember that 55% of what we communicate is our body language, okay? So be very aware of where your hands are, where your eyes are looking, okay, the tone of your voice, making sure you address them. Identify yourself. Hello, it's Leanne, okay? Use everyday language. Don't use words like see or look. And avoid situations where there's competing noise. Okay, announce what you're going to do. Great tips there, Vision Australia. So there you go. We don't know everything. Okay, you're not meant to know everything. So Google it or ask. Communication is key. And it's all right not to know everything. Yeah. Now Garda has just joined us, and I'm going to put you on the spot, Garda. How do you communicate with someone with this who has a visual disability? Aren't you glad you joined?
I know, right?
I'll let you think about that for a minute because now we're going to move on, and I'll come back to you, Garda, if you've got anything to add. If you've ever had a client with a visual disability, we just went to Vision Australia and got some great tips. Don't worry if you don't, but that's okay. And our last question for today's musing: how do you interact with someone who has a hearing disability? Okay, so I would, if anyone has any tips, put it in the chat. I would Google it, how to communicate.
You could use place cards and stuff with hearing disabilities.
Hearing, yes. Place
Visuals.
cards. Visuals. Again, speak very clearly.
And slowly.
Slowly.
And always ask, can you hear me? Would you like me to repeat that? So.
Yeah, you're on the money there, Garda. I knew you would be. And it's very similar to what you do with people with visual disabilities, is that you face the person, you address the person, reduce background noise, be assertive, okay? Ask for clarification. Ask the person to clarify if you missed anything, yeah? Oh, no, that's if you have a hearing loss. Let's go back, Leanne. There, how about this one? How to communicate with someone with hearing loss. The second largest disability. There you go. Interesting. Yes, I think you've got to be careful of the background noise.
Oh, we can't hear you.
Me.
Yeah.
Don't know why I've cut out there.
No, you're on now.
Okay, great. So anyway, basically, probably a problem solver. If you don't know, Google it. If you don't know, ask your case manager. If they don't know, they will find out. Okay. If in doubt, ask. Don't be hard on yourself if you don't know. All right. We don't know all the time, which I've demonstrated today. And Mitzi, it's quite okay to admit it. I don't know. What do I do in that situation? I've never experienced this situation before. So Google it. And there's the answer. We thank goodness for Google. So that's anything else you want to add there, Garda?
No. So for anyone that doesn't know, I'm sure everyone here knows Michelle, the coordinator.
Mm-hmm.
So if anyone who doesn't know, she actually wears hearing aids.
There you go.
So because she has hearing loss. So with her, you actually have to face her because she actually lip reads now as well.
Yes. So, interesting.
Yeah. So also positioning is crucial in that environment as well.
Because they're very adept at lip reading, yeah.
Lip reading, yeah. So she has to be able to see your lips. So yeah.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, Garda. You've come in at the right time. Mitzi, you're back.
Yes,
guys,
can you hear me okay?
Yeah, that's it for this week. I thank you, everybody that has attended. Really, really, really appreciate your time in coming along. If you have any learning needs, training needs, if you want to participate in any of those free modules, if you want to hear about the Certificate 3 and Certificate 4 traineeships that are on offer, please contact me. My name's Leanne. You can email me inquiries@meditechtrainingcollege.com.au, or you can just ring Meditech and they'll put you through to me as well. So that's it from me. Take care out there. Keep doing the great work that you're doing. And thank you so much for your time. If you're not in the Facebook group, please join us. Check out the chat box. We've got the link in the chat box. And Mitzi, you want to say something there?
Yeah, can I just ask the staff that are online that are new or first time comers, did you receive the reminder through SMS or did someone tell you? I'd just be interested to know how you came to us today.
I think the SMS has proved very successful, Mitzi.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely. So we'll continue to send the link each fortnight. This is held fortnightly and through SMS. Thanks, Gozzy. Excellent. And all of this is in the Facebook group. It's a closed private group. The link is in the chat box. You just have to approve to the group rules, okay? And then all the answers, I'll post some answers up there today as well, and we'll do some new workplace. You'll see the historical workplace scenarios we've talked about in the past. And some people got an email as well. Brilliant. Excellent, Monica. Thank you.
Amazing. And also, if there are any support workers or support staff there that have come across an issue that you would like discussed or a case scenario to be talked about, please email us. Let us know.
Yes, if you've got a situation you don't know how to handle or you want solutions or you had to find the solution, let us know. We can share your learnings with the rest of the group. That's what this is all about. Let's learn from each other, and just know that you're not alone out there, okay? And your work is very, very much appreciated. So continue the great work and everybody take care.
Yeah, all good. Bye.
Have a great week, everyone. Stay safe.